Atep, President.
Hey, is this my son?
Yes.
How are you, son?
I'm fighting hard for you, you know it.
That's an ambassador's job.
Yeah, every day. It's good hearing from you, good speaking to you.
How's it going?
Huh?
How's it going?
Well, we moving. Everything is moving according to plan, and we got, the next step. Of course, because they're wiggling right now, we moving on to the next level. Everybody's been given sufficient notice. They got the ex parte. So we're going to move with the ICJ and the Human Rights Council out there in the UN, as well as get the ICJ the jurisdiction that they asked for. So they can proceed with the case, because, of course, the U.S. is not responding. No one wants to take the responsibility for it. So we're going to put more pressure on there, and we're going to get the Liberian paperwork together as well. So with the Liberian paperwork, we want to incorporate all the violations that the U.S. has, but bring it from a Liberian perspective, so Liberia can present it to say you violated our rights to have a diplomat in working on our behalf since 1998 or 1999, your appointment, and so bring the violations from that perspective as well. So that's the next step as far as the documentation and as well as the jurisdiction. So it's about 3 documentations that we have to put together. Right.
But you know who's working on that. I'm just saying, you know who's working on it.
Yeah, the Liberian thing.
Yeah, so
yes.
You know we already have all the paperwork signed, right?
Right.
Was you informed of that?
I did. I just was informed of it. I know that they did get it updated.
Well, the U.S. Embassy also signed off on it. And what happened is the judge that was there in court with me on November 1999, his name was Kobe.
Okay.
Kaba.
Kaba, okay.
He ended up, he's the head of the department to deal with foreign affairs. Okay. So when our lawyers had to present the doctrine, my lawyers had to present the paperwork, they had to check to make sure all of the court papers of my appointment as a consular general, not an honorary consular general, right, and a Liberian diplomat, right, in December 15th, 1999, right, was confirmed. So they was trying to track it down because of, there was a lot of changing in government.
Absolutely.
Finally got all the documents clear, showing that I was received well, that I did my plea and my allegiance, and that the courts heard it and had witnesses, and it was stamped. Okay. They had to get those. I'm doing that. I'm tracing that because everybody who knows, and everybody who pretend they don't know will not be able to say they don't know when you can subpoena a copy of this tape.
Absolutely.
Okay? So they was informed, and everybody here was getting documents coming to me day after day, showing all the paperwork coming from Liberia, confirming that I'm a Liberian diplomat and a naturalized citizen of Liberia. Okay. Not interfere with my being the chief of the Amasi tribe.
Absolutely. Doesn't interfere at all.
People from the Amasi tribe crossed over into Sierra Leone and into Liberia and had to settle there because of the racism in America.
Absolutely.
Okay, so now, I'm just going to tell you, we got time, Okay. So they did, so we had to trace the paperwork out. We went to Nefu for it, and she said she didn't have it. Okay. Which is all right, but that's cool, but I had copies of it anyway. Okay. And so what I did, remember a while back when I was saying, send me 4 copies here, 4 copies there, 4 copies of this?
Yeah.
I was doing that purpose because I knew they were going to try to make it get lost. Okay. But I ended up with a copy, and I sent it back to the people who's working on it. Okay. Right? Mm-hmm. That is what I'm talking about. Okay. And they had sent it to Liberia. The lawyer in Liberia has an international lawyer on standby. Okay. But this lawyer took it to the Department of Justice. Right? Okay. And they said, well, he knew the guy there, and the guy said, well, I need to take this and get it stamped first. Okay. Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Okay. And then they took it to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. They got it stamped and approved. This was just a couple of weeks ago. Okay. And then they said, now we're taking it over to the American Embassy so the American Embassy can sign off on it, so they can't pull that non grata stuff. Right. And they can't say that, well, America didn't receive him. That's the game they're trying. There's 2 games they're trying to play. Okay. America didn't receive him. It doesn't matter whether America receives you or not. If he accepts your nationalization. Right. And then appoints you after that, right, December to November, a legal consul general, then you're a consul general anyway, and that's international law. Whether America says we didn't accept him in our embassy as a host, it doesn't matter. It doesn't take away that I'm a Liberian diplomat. And it doesn't give them any right to violate international law. That's not justifiable. So we got that signed too. Okay. Now we're getting ready to, and we're supposed to be coming to the office. Okay. Right, so we can file a new judicial notice. Because remember, I filed a judicial notice years ago and Judge Royals tried to ignore it on the grounds that you can't file pro se while you have attorneys.
Okay.
And that's just not true. He was a new federal judge. He wasn't a third article judge. He didn't understand what he was talking about. And he went and said he denied the motion illegally. You pull it up, you can find it. Right?
Okay.
Nobody understood what I was trying to explain to them back then. And some that did was working for both sides. You understand what I mean?
I understand.
Okay, so I already filed the judicial notice. When you got the judicial notice, you have the amicus brief. And then one of the most important things is this. Here, with Mrs. Lita Holden in the presence of Mrs. Anitra Cross and Mrs. Janet Goins, right, and Mr. Snellville, who's the head of the legal department here, and Mrs. Kathy Cook, who at the time was assistant district attorney for Denver.
Okay.
They did a deposition, and remember, they didn't tell me about the deposition, so I was not prepared, which is a violation of law. So they're supposed to tell you ahead of time when you're going to have a deposition so you can bring your paperwork.
Okay.
They just snatched me out of my cell one day, and the girls could give you the dates for that.
Okay.
Pulled me down there for a deposition.
Okay.
Deposition started, I said, for the record, let the record show, first of all, I'm a secured party.
Okay.
Right? Meaning I'm a diplomat.
Absolutely.
Secured. Let the record show, I'm not answering no questions without my legal attorney or counselor here, which is Mr. Francis Galawulu from Liberia, who has visited me in this penitentiary, so you'll have recognized him as my attorney.
Absolutely.
So I'm not answering no questions. Right, pertaining to that until you establish that I am a Liberian diplomat, I am a consul, a consul general with full diplomatic status. I put all that on record right that day, and it's in the transcripts. So the people who were sitting there witnessing it were supposed to stop at that point and say, well, this is a jurisdiction issue, we have to take this straight to court. Instead of trying to proceed on whether or not I have angioedema and what kind, Mrs. Marcy Cook and Mr. Snellsville from here, the legal department, was supposed to stop then and say, okay, we have to take this and find out if it's true. You follow?
Yes.
They ignored it.
Okay.
And then proceeded on with the angioedema to try to prove I don't have angioedema, which recently has proved that I do have, which meant from then to now I could have died, from angioedema attacks.
Yes.
While not getting medication.
Yes.
So the point is that it's on the record in the depositions, and they should have a copy of it in the office. Then when I finished that, I said, wait a minute, before they want to take you back and when they get what they want, right?
Yes.
I made mention because they sent me the deposition for corrections first before the stenographer couldn't sign off on it.
Okay.
I added in, I was born June 26, 1945, right, in the government hospital in Takoradi, Ghana.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so I was born there, and that's where I was before I came over to America.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Illegally through a birth certificate distributed in Massachusetts.
Exactly.
And that was also put on record.
Okay.
So everything was there. As far as Native American, being a Native American chief, that was on record from day one because I was while incarcerated in the state penitentiary they had on my wristband.
Right.
Nationality Indian, and me and the sheriff got along because the sheriff was a Native American also.
Right.
So all of them records are always are there.
Okay.
What I'm trying to make is whatever y'all are planning on doing between the Native American and Liberia.
Right.
We are already so far up the ladder.
Right.
Don't put everything in the same basket.
Exactly.
But you give them the chance to say no, because they like to say no and run and look in the other direction.
Right.
And then they'll be saying no to Native American and everything. They can't get away. Another Native, by the way, it was on the Fox the other morning. Another Native American tribe that had 17 years of litigations, right?
Right.
Have won, so you can look it up. It was on Fox Channel. Another Native American tribe had a 17-year litigation about their land and the royalties of their land.
Right.
He just recently won. So that's another, so you can look at that and pull up how that happens.
Okay.
You get my point now?
Yes, I'm following you, Bob. I got you. I'm with you all the way.
I don't want them to clash because Liberia is set now.
Okay.
It's because the American embassy in Liberia signed off on it.
Okay.
So now all we got to do is file the judicial notice.
Okay.
But inclusive of a copy of the depositions, the amicus brief.
Okay.
My other judicial notice and all the other documents of Liberia, and there's no way for them to avoid the repatriation. Meanwhile, I know you want to talk to me, but meanwhile...
No, I'm listening, Baba. I'm listening.
But Mr. Nippy, who works for the embassy.
Yes.
He said now that Mr. Bull is out of office, he said Mr. Bull was the one that was being paid to block us. That was the ambassador that was at that time when the girls were going up there.
Right.
He's out of office, and the new guy that's in is one of Mr. Nippy's friends.
Okay.
Been talking. I told him he was trying to get to
Right.
And I was like, no, you stay where you are.
Okay.
Been dealing with her, and they said they're getting ready to move in Liberia also.
Okay.
But
okay.
What I want you to do is make sure everything stays separate So they don't try to put it all. They want to just put, you know how they are. You know them.
Yes.
Been around long enough. Try to put the Native American, the Liberia, and everything in one bag and then just deny it. They'll be fighting for another 6 months.
Exactly.
Yeah, so they still haven't given me no medication for my hereditary angioedema, even after it's been put on record that I have it. So I still haven't gotten anything for it.
Okay. Not a problem. Okay.
Understand?
Yes, I'm following you, Baba. I'm listening. I'm taking it all in, and I'm definitely going to do what you asked. I'm going to handle it.
Hey, this is not a 15-minute one, so you got time to do it. I'm trying to cut you off. You got to cut me off. Like, we can relax for a little while, you know?
Okay.
You got all of that?
I have it all.
I'm telling y'all right now, it is done. What they're doing right now is buying time, trying to, like you say, figure a way to wiggle a way out of it. But see, before we kept coming, we never had the documentation properly in order.
Okay.
Then when you sat down and you took Mr. Anenya's system, your Bala?
Yes.
Notice, because I did get a copy of it. I got it from Khememtek. They've been trying to hold it, so I didn't get a copy of it, right?
The ex parte.
I did get a copy of it a while back. I did notice that 150 should have been 155.
Right.
And you have Mr. Smith as the person, Mr. Stephen Smith as the person that took my glasses.
Yes.
And that was Captain Smith in Marion.
Okay.
This was the SIS man here. He had nothing to do with that. Okay, so just little corrections with it. But it's already in now because you can always amend it.
Yes.
But the point is, everybody, see, what also, you're going to understand, the system here is broken up into 4 people as far as the inmate is concerned. Okay?
Okay.
You have what they call the unit manager.
Okay.
And that's just Mrs. Rangel.
Mrs. Rangel.
Then you have the case manager, right?
Right.
Was Mrs. Tina Sudlow, but now it changed to Mr. Hewitt. Now, the case manager one has to do everything to do with your transfer or your movement or anything. You understand?
Right.
So you need to look those up and see what each person's position is in responsibility.
Okay.
And then you have the counselor, right?
Yes.
Mr. Foster, the gentleman, right? And then the SIS is really just something like an investigator that whenever the investigation department, which is run by a woman named Mrs. Crisp. Notice there's Mr. Crisp and Mrs. Crisp.
Okay. Mr. Crisp.
All the investigation and denying everything I say. Okay, well, that's the husband. His name was Captain Chris when he was in Marion when he took my glasses off the plane. They have a well worked out system to protect themselves. You just got to know, you got to know that the carelessness is in your benefit because some people allow their racism and their anger to get in between their intelligence. They make decisions that are not according to the BOP or law or international law.
Absolutely.
In my case, they're in major violations because I told them 1,000,000 times. I told Mrs. Sudler when she was my caseworker, I said, I'm a Liberian diplomat. She said, she told me, literally, all your paperwork is forged. And then she walked away. You can't argue. You can't say that's not true. You can't tell them to investigate because they don't have the authority to because they're in a system where it's called systematic elimination. You talk to one, they'll tell you got to check with that one. Talk to that one, you got to check to that one. It passes around so nobody really knows.
Yeah, right.
So it's a well organized system for them.
Right.
But in this case, they made a boo-boo because I am a Liberian diplomat with full diplomatic status. I am a naturalized citizen. I am the chief and seated president of a recognized black tribe of Native Americans called the Yamasee. You understand? And it's on record. I am a direct descendant of B.York. You know what I'm saying? So this time they have a problem. So what they're trying to do with y'all is they're stalling. That's why the first answer you got was, we don't really know what to do.
Right.
If you don't know what to do, then you follow the law.
Exactly.
You don't just hold a man in there and say, I don't know what to do, but I'll hold him anyway. You say, we don't know what to do. Call a higher authority and find out.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Call Mrs. Anenya.
Right.
And let him tell you, yes, we know that tribe. We know that chief. And yes, he is the chief for that tribe. And there's 30,000 of them.
Right.
They're in what do you call it? They're misplaced now in exile, scattered. Some of them have even died because of this.
Exactly.
But there's been a lot of abuse to our tribe. The whole purpose of this so-called bogus case was not based on any molestation or any tax evasion because Native Americans don't have to pay tax.
Right.
Nor can you tell us what age we're supposed to have sex in our tribe.
Right.
That's based on your law. You know what I'm saying? So none of that really makes sense. And what's important is that nobody's doing one of the most important things. They're not getting to Kathy and them. You know why? Because being Kathy's on the record as a wife, they can't hold that woman on probation no longer. Now the documents are in place.
Right.
And Abigail is put down there as her cousin.
Right.
All the people in the case were tribal members, so none of their testimonies have anything to do with their court. Everybody there has jurisdiction. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's why they want you to put Liberia and Native American together.
Because
they're caught in two different courts, two different ways.
Right.
And if they can tie y'all into one or the other, you know what I'm saying? And then they got the lawyers coming down from New York who got all the facts about the medical. You follow?
Yes.
And so now they're caught, because what they should have done is said, initially by looking at the court records, Mr. York was never supposed to be in Florence he was supposed to be over in Butner where he belongs because of his medical.
Right.
But they pretended for years that I didn't have angioedema in hopes that I'd probably pass from it. Right?
Yes.
Now they set it up where I ended up with the lawyers from New York checking, investigating, and I got a test, and now it's been confirmed I have hereditary angioedema, but I'm still sitting in here in this place where I don't belong. You got it?
Yes, but we have it, Baba.
You say?
Definitely. I'm just taking it all in, and I'm just in my mind. I'm looking at the separation and how the Liberian documentation will be event. You know, I went to the embassy and I spoke with them, and they said that it was two gentlemen outside that I spoke to.
Right.
They said it's finally time that someone speaks up. I went to them in reference to the African nationals, just to make the connection, ambassador to ambassador, to make to get a nice relationship. So then coming back with the Liberian documentation, putting all of that, as you can see in the footnotes with the ex parte with the Native American document, we can do the same thing.
The exact same documents, only you just take out the Indian stuff and it's Liberia.
Exactly, and then they also can present it. We, as an ambassador of our nation,
right,
we can work together with Liberia, and they can take the document and, as an appointed agent for our nation, attach it to their nation and present it to the U.S. from their perspective to say these are the violations in reference to our Liberian national and our Liberian diplomat, and go from 1998 all the way down to the violations that they have in international law. And then, of course, as you read in the Native American document, they can't go into their municipal laws to justify any of the torture, any of the violations. They can't result to their municipal law in doing that. Huh?
Eat this. One of the other games, I just want you to give one more thing.
Okay.
One of the other games they tried to play when it was presented to the State Department before.
Yes.
When y'all had the councilman with the white hair.
Is it Hanks?
Okay, when Hank
presented
it over there to the State Department, you know what they pulled?
What?
Well, this case was started before he became a diplomat.
Right.
Okay, with the superseding indictment knocks that out the case, first of all. Plus, if you go back through the whole transcripts of the case and get the ages of different people,
yes,
right, all the people that was in the court had nothing, was not going back as far as Brooklyn or as far as the land.
Upstate, right.
Eliminating all of them, and you can't use Abigail because she did a what?
Affidavit.
You can't. You definitely can't use Esau. You can't use Eddie because he was pulled off the case for lying on the stand.
Exactly.
And who else?
Ebony, we got the recantment from her.
And we got Ebony's recantment.
David.
And we also got the fact that Tatiana was too old, and that's why they moved that out the way.
David's recantment.
So they can't. So you can eliminate all that right now. Say you can't use those. You can't use that excuse no more.
Right.
Like I said, the superseding indictment and the fact that it moved from the state into the federal changed that anyway.
Okay.
Because when it became the superseding indictment, it actually becomes a new case, a new filing.
Exactly.
If also, so you can't say, well, we're basing this on, even though they added things in the case that goes back to 90 something.
Right.
It doesn't matter because if you go back then, you go back to Judge Specie in the other judge.
Right. Spivey.
Miss Spivey.
Yes.
Go back there, and that judge said no, none of these kids was molested,
exactly.
None of these kids were hurt, and threw it out. So that would be how can you use that now to say this case is the same case?
Exactly, and that's an international wrongful act. They took a group of children from one ethnic group to another. That's genocide.
That's genocide.
And
these people on the land when you got there, so they were tribal people.
Exactly, and that's going inside of the document, the ex parte, the jurisdiction, and the document that's being resubmitted to the ICJ. We didn't even. I touched on genocide in the ex parte, but I didn't go into it. I tried to let them know, okay, we can go into genocide because of the fact that there's you created an ethnic cleansing. It specifies in international law
and
that
you can't tell us what, because in our book, our holy book, Pataruk,
right,
it tells you when a person, according to us,
right,
and according to nature, because we are animists,
right,
come to nature, when a woman reaches a certain age, she's a woman. That's our law. You can't come into our nation,
right,
with your law, snatch our president and arrest them by your laws when you don't even have a unanimous decision in what you're calling America for the proper age of consent.
Right.
Not that I did these acts. The point
absolutely.
is, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. The point is, you got several different states. One state says 14. One state says 18. One state says 21.
Yeah. One state. I mean, look at Las Vegas. Las Vegas, you can get married at 14.
Okay. So then you can't. So how you going to? come into my country,
right,
and base your laws that are not even unanimous and call it the United States versus Malachi, or what's your name? You
right.
can't say the United States. You got to say only the state of Georgia.
Absolutely.
Or it would not be federal.
Exactly, Barbara. We're definitely with you 100%.
They're stuck. See, and they know it's going to come up eventually because they realize they stuck their hand into a harness nest when dealing with us. They didn't know we was a bunch of nerds. They thought we was typical Negroes.
Right.
And now they're like, somebody's saying, you mean tell me they're really Native American? Yeah. You mean he's really a descendant of B.York? Yeah. You mean he's really a chief? Yeah. They have their own bylaws. Yes. They have their own constitution. Yes. And our age of consent is not the same as yours.
Absolutely.
And so what am I doing in here on the charge that they got to do with you? That's the problem they have. So you got to, you can do systematic elimination for the ages.
Okay.
Tie them all in. If you get to the Census Department in Athens, Georgia, Clark County.
Right.
You'll see that Abigail Washington is written up there with Kathy Johnson as her cousin because she resided in the house.
Okay.
So did Chandra.
Okay.
Chandra Lampkin, she lived in 155 also, which was the Consular General office.
Right.
So they was not supposed to touch any of those people because they're on record down there as being a part of that office. Go ahead, your turn. I just want to get this to you because it goes in my head and I'll be trying to get it across.
No, I'm listening. I've always, I tune into your voice, so I'm taking it all in, and I'm
taping this, right?
Yes, we are.
Did you get my point? What I'm saying all together?
Yes, I understand. I do. I got it. I got your point.
Certain direction, and then every time it gets to that certain direction, people start doing like everybody got a project, and then whatever looks like is shining the brightest,
right?
Everybody tries to cling on to. Everybody's playing these like. These like, I need to know what you're doing. And everybody's already been told, you do this, you do that, you that. I was told here.
Right.
Here by somebody. Why don't you just put it all in one basket?
Oh, okay.
And that's what it sounds like everybody's trying to do now. I'm like, wait a minute. This was told to me by Mr. McAllister. Y'all got this stuff scattered all over the place. Why don't you just put it in one basket? And now it seems like everybody's trying to say, let's put it in one basket. It's frightening me now. At this point, I'm like, wait a minute. Well,
I'm definitely, but that's not going to happen. I mean, it's true. I mean, I'm hearing your orders. I'm follow what you said. I mean, I realize the danger of trying to put it in one, and I understand clearly what you're saying. Do not put it in one basket.
It's strange because he was saying all we need is one more document for Pops to be, coming from Fatima.
Right.
That's Odessa in Texas. For when that case was there.
Right.
The deposition to prove that her father was living, owned the land. You got to understand, son. A lot of people do not want me out. You know why they don't want me out? Because they ran and they're embarrassed. They believe SEALs in them. You understand?
Yes.
Not the sex part.
Right.
Believe SEALs, but he ain't never getting out. So they went on and started a new life.
Right.
And just imagine what happens the day I come out. How embarrassed a lot of these so-called, I'm with you to the end of your life. I love you. We got kids. Imagine how embarrassed all them people are going to be. So a lot of them are not going to help because of embarrassment. Then other people, they get rank and position and power, and they get spoiled by that position. And then when you say, "I need you to help me do so and so and so and so," but we could bring Pops home. They're like, "Yeah, Pop, come home. I'm no longer going to be the big cheese." You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, overstand.
Really think like that, So you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I follow you. I'm with you. I'm on the same page with you, Pop.
You can't let them take and put your stuff in one basket.
All right.
You God is too strong. The President Obama is behind the Native Americans. Tribes are winning every day. What I told them to tell you to do is part of my family line is the Pequot. You know the Pequot Indians?
Yes.
The black tribe up in
Massachusetts.
Right.
Connecticut.
No. They're Rhode Island, actually.
Okay.
All the casinos and all that stuff up there?
Yes.
They got to have some black Indian lawyers that's not afraid.
Right.
Because when you go to the Tonto, or the American Indians, as they call themselves, they look at you like you're black, you're not one of us. I'm like, excuse me, we was here, the Anasazi, before y'all came here.
Absolutely.
Y'all came from Asia. We was already here. You understand? But they don't know that because they don't know the history. All they know is the television history of Indians.
Right. I just read an article recently, right after you mentioned the Pequot. I read an article how that's who met the Pilgrims at Plymouth Rock, right. and they saw it as genocide as well. There's a professor, I think professor out of Massachusetts. I'm not sure where he's a professor out of, but he said that it's just it was called a neo-Nazi genocidal effect of indigenous people because the Pequot was destroyed by the Pilgrims that came in. I actually spoke with the young lady up there in the legal department, and she said that she was going to pass the information on to their tribal committee because I told them that our chief Black Eagle.
They're so rich now and they're so powerful now that you got to push people, because when people get money, they start getting the very lackadaisical about responding to other people.
Yeah, I can see that.
Very wealthy. They even threw Donald Trump out of the play. He tried to put a Trump Towers in near their casino.
Right.
And they told him no, and the whole city backed them up because they built a courthouse, they built a new school building, they built a new fire department for them. That's how rich the people are up there. So I know they got to have some shrewd Native American, black, dark-skinned, nappy-haired Indians that are lawyers who know how to fight. Plus, anytime you come across a tribe that won, you're supposed to pull the records from the court and see the format that they use.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's it. Like I just said, a tribe just won a 17-year battle.
Yeah.
And just got 3.4. They just got 3.4 million or billion. I'm not sure how much they got, but they got their rights and their land back.
Okay.
And we got to make it. People understand this case is nothing about no child or no tax. This case is about a land grab.
Right.
The crackers in Georgia did not want a Native American black tribe there, and they set out to take our land. That's what it's all about. It ain't got nothing to do with nothing else. And that's what the public got to understand. All them kids already recanted and said this stuff was a setup, and they were threatened and targeted. They had guns in their heads. What do you expect?
Right. Exactly.
Did you copies of the apartheid?
Huh?
Did you ever send me copies of the apartheid? You did?
Yeah. Did I send? Yeah, I gave it to the sisters because every mail that I sent you, Baba, I've been sending you mail. I just want you to know the documentation with the seals, with the letterhead. I sent you. I mean, everything that's been worked on over the last few months, but they haven't been giving it to you. And once I noticed that, I said, okay, well, they're going to hold this ex parte if it come to me. Maybe the sisters will get it in quicker. I mean, that the letter that I sent you was not the only letter that I've been writing you. I've been writing you from the embassy with the letterhead, everything, the documentation. I gave you the information from the prisoner transfer, how the Ghanaian sister over here in Colorado, how we reached out to the embassy on her behalf, and they want to work with us. How the Senegalese, I sat across from the Sierra Leone embassy,
all that stuff, and the stuff from Morocco and all that stuff.
All of that. I sent it. I talked to I even sent you the dialogue that me and the Sierra Leonean ambassador had in reference to how he gets his prisoners out. He said he goes directly to immigration and speaks directly with them to give the prisoners from Sierra Leone another chance if they the certain amount of time. He negotiates like that, and I sent that dialogue as well, but they didn't send it in. So
I'm not telling you not to get involved in Liberia. That's not what I'm telling you. I'm trying to tell you, don't mix them.
Okay, got you. I'll definitely overstand, and I hear you.
Opportunity to smash everything all in one day.
Right.
But they'll just deny it, and then knowing we're going to come back and get the Supreme Court, and be, like I said, they fought 17 years. I'll be dead in 17 years. You know what I'm saying?
No.
They're counting on. So I'm saying, what y'all got to do, y'all got to do now, because Liberia, like I said, when the U.S. Embassy of Liberia stamped off on it,
yes,
and the same judge that was the judge on the bench when I was there on November 26, 1999, was the head of the department, and so the lawyer brought it to him and was surprised. He said, I am Kauba. I was there when Mr. York was in court in Liberia, and then he stamped it.
Right.
I should not even be here right now.
Right.
The next thing the girls were saying is, we're putting together the two affidavits from Jeanette and Zenitra.
Yes.
Their two affidavits have to be attached to that because they were saying I was here in the building when he made the statement of who he was, and it was ignored. You follow?
Right.
And you got the letter that Mrs. The motion that Mrs. Attorney Lita Holden was filing, where she was in the presence of Mrs. Marcy Cook, who on the document confirms that she said it herself. She signed under that. It was for a continuance.
Okay.
But when she submitted the continuance, it said Mr. York, Malachi K. York, librarian, so and so, diplomat. So it's right in there, and that was assistant district attorney of the state of Denver. They have that motion.
Okay.
Those pieces belong in there. You know the point is, the implication is we belong to the same religion. And that is that. And so what? If I was Jewish and my lawyer was Jewish, that means my lawyer can't come see me. That's what they're basically saying. Y'all are all Nawapians. So what? Nawapian is not a religion. Nawapian is our nationality as Native Americans. They just don't know what they're doing. That's why they have down. I can't go into the step down program because I'm the leader of the Nawapian Moors. When you say Nawapian Moor on the document, you're saying a black Nawapian. The word Moor is number Portuguese for morenos, as you know. You know what I'm saying? I got another one just recently saying the reason why you're not eligible to go down the step down program is because you are the leader of the, and they misspelled Nawapian with an M, the Mawapian Moors. That's what they say. And I sent the page. We have a bunch. They've been doing that for the last, every 6 months. They've been doing that for the last 2 years. Saying the only reason why I can't go on no step-down program is because I'm the leader of the Mawapian Moors. I'm like, we have documents to prove that the Nawapians are the Yamasee tribe of Native Americans, and the word Moor just means black. When I first got here, that wasn't on there. They just was not letting me go into the program with no, you're just a threat to the institution, blah, 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 with their term. Then after a while, when they saw I started getting all those documents from Africa and everything, then they brought this new thing and said, because you're the leader of the Mawapian Moors. So that's why you can't go into the step-down program, because we think that's a danger to the institution. How is my tribe and my nationality, my race, a danger to the institution is beyond me. Just because they don't know what Nawapians are, and that's why I say it's important. I'm glad my son has put them on notice as to about our tribe and who we are. So when we finally get this in the court, people will not be able to say they did not know. That's the main thing. You know, they want to be able to say, I didn't know. That's why they have what they call, you know, the systematic elimination thing. Talk to that person. Call that person. That's out of my hands. So everybody could say they don't know. I'm saying he should have made sure my whole unit team got a copy of that ex parte.
They did. They did. We mailed it out. They have it. It's on the way. Mr. McAllister, he took. We faxed it to him. He took it to directly to Mr. Berkebau's desk, and the unit manager, the counselor, as well as Sinful got it the first day, and that's when he just stopped communicating with us from that point. The courts have it. The BOP has it. How the direction that we were going, we were discussing it with the different attorneys. Like one attorney by the name of Timothy at the BOP, Timothy Rodriguez, he got on the phone. This guy was stuttering like he was talking to, I don't know who he thought he was talking to, but the ex parte must have just really caught him by the throat, because he basically said, you have to go higher up. We can't even address this. We can't redress this situation. So I gave him a way out. I said, so you're telling me based on what you read, I asked him, did he read it? He said, yes. He said he recognized the merits of it. He said, sue us. He said, you can sue us, sue us. He literally told us to sue us, or he said, take it to the State Department. And so we walked it all the way up. The State Department received it. Actually, we gave it to an attorney in a diplomatic law office at the State Department. He sat on it for about 3 or 4 days. We called him back. He said, he gave the message, you have to go to Sovereign International Protect the head of state in your facility. I need to speak with someone who can make administrative decisions in reference to remedy this situation immediately, and I do not need to go to a voicemail. She said, hold on, and she put us right through Hillary Clinton's voicemail. She put it through Hillary. Well, she sent this to Hillary Clinton's phone, but it went to the voicemail. I left a message there, and I spoke to the White House. The lady, it was a comment line that typically people leave comments, and I said I don't need to leave a comment. I'm officially putting you on notice as a U.S. government official. I need to speak to someone who can make administrative decisions in reference to these international breachings. She went to a supervisor. Her supervisor said, give him Barack's fax and the email to schedule an appointment. So it's all the way up the ladder. The thing is, what I was telling each department, I said that the State Department is blaming it on the Justice Department. The Justice Department is blaming it on the BOP. The BOP is blaming it on the Colorado in Florence.
Because this is a private institution. This is not this is owned by a private person.
Okay.
Yes. There's a bunch of prisons out there now. Businessmen invest in. That's a new kind of investment that America does.
Okay.
They build prisons and they make a profit off of the incarceration of certain inmates who are not indigent. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Money.
Right.
So they move them here from different penitentiaries because they check and see how much commissary and how many people visit. You know what I'm trying to say?
Exactly.
This is one of those private places, and that's why the BOP said it's this people here, and that's why they said sue them.
Right. Okay.
They're trying to make you take it that way, and that's a long litigation. In other words, stay with me a minute.
I am.
Okay? There was people. I was sitting there, and everything went into a gray matter for a while. Not here today. I mean, my whole case seemed to get dead. All the people who was working on it seemed to have disappeared. Right.
Okay.
I wanted Leader.
Okay.
Because Leader was an eyewitness at the deposition to me putting these people here on notice, and some of the people are still working here, so it makes it more authentic.
Okay.
But if they started wiggling and then not the leaders wiggling, right? I'm saying the people started saying, listen, we're moving anyway because we're not falling back into the old thing of back to the old people we used to talk to.
Yes.
Get it done. And then that's the same story Sakina's saying. Sakina was like, I'm trying to get such and such and such and such done. I'm like, Sakina, nobody's going to be trusting you, sending you money to Sakina, you understand? And they don't see no results.
Right.
You want to see something that you're doing other than these are good lawyers, these are top-notch lawyers, these are the best lawyers in the world, blah, blah, blah. No, I've been about 10 years of me being incarcerated and millions of dollars being exploited from us. They're not going to respond like that.
Absolutely.
You got to work with people.
Yeah.
And Mac had his own story. Now you got Nippy, and Nippy's a powerful man in Liberia, by the way.
Okay.
Your father, Nippy and Charles Mallory, and he's saying the same thing. And this is what's throwing me off.
Right.
Nippy is saying, go do Charles Mallory. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We're not talking to no third person. You know, when we got this far without everybody's help, we're not going to be going to no third person. So why is it that Sakina saying talk to this person, Nippy saying talk to Charles Mallory, everybody's putting another person in there, they're not going to go there. The family ain't going to go that way. And nobody's listening to me, and I'm trying to make something clear that it's no coincidence that everybody's making the same statement.
Okay.
You understand? Sakina's telling everybody, go through a third person. Right?
Right.
They're like, we're not doing that. That's what Rico and them were saying. Go through a third person. They didn't, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I go to a third person where I can talk to the National Legal Professional Association myself. You're going to get our tribe to send y'all money through Rico and what's the Caucasian guy?
Basia.
No, it's my husband, it's my father, you know, it's my brother.
Right.
You understand? That's what's happening right now. Everybody looks at this point where all the stuff is going on. I'm like, everybody was dormant in another world, and then all of a sudden now we're at the door, and everybody's putting someone in between the door.
Okay.
Blank. We're going like this. Me and my sister, we did this research. We got this far.
Mm-hmm.
You did this research.
Mm-hmm.
You went around. You pieced things together. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Right.
Y'all got what y'all need. It's
okay.
Now it's not time for people to come in with a third person. You know what I'm saying?
Understood.
It throws me off and throws them off because they're not trusting no more because the people that we trusted are the ones who left us.
Right. I understand. I'm clear. I'm
clear. Got a letter just the other day that said, you know what it said?
What?
It said that Mr. Nippy and Mr. Charles Mallory, you know Mr. Nippy is Liberian and works for the government.
Yes.
He said, had Rochelle not dropped the ball, I'd be already home. You understand? But you know who she dropped the ball in? She dropped the ball into Nefu's hands. Okay?
Right.
And Nefu made connection with that woman Bennett and then didn't use that. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
So it's kind of frightening at this point where I'm like, look how close you are.
Yes.
Look how close Sakina is. And look how close Taya and them are. You follow?
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, Nippy pops up now with we ready to move now. After we already got the paper stamped in Liberia from the American Embassy, it makes us kind of...
Right.
Makes us uneasy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm like, if Florence is blocking Zenitra and them, and Mrs. Leah Holden is a bar-holding attorney and has put that on record, you follow?
Mm-hmm.
Then it's time to file something against them.
Right.
Instead of just stop letting them push you, just go, I'm a legal bar-holder, that's a legal paralegal, and she's supposed to be helping me on Mr. Y'all because y'all obstructing justice.
Okay.
We're trying to get the case. We're trying to get his case further, and y'all won't let the paralegals. And Mrs. Lita Holy got other clients. She can't be here all the time.
Right.
You follow what I'm trying to say? So they're violating another law, but y'all are not fighting. You're giving them the right to take mail. You're giving them the right to take people off my visit list, add people on the visit list I don't even know. You know what I'm saying? Just so they can block it up, because they're facing the ultimate son is this. The ultimate is Gadut. Falus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And not Falus from us, Falus from them. Yeah. They realize once they lose this case, they are financially strapped to return everything they took from us, and they're not willing to do that. They live by money. And they realize right now somebody messed up. Just like with my health. We got a document saying that it said the medical department of Florence have determined that you diagnosed negative for angioedema. Right?
Right.
And then 3 months later, you take a blood test from me, and it turns out I have angioedema, which I've been saying from the day I got arrested. That's an outright contradiction, and in a court of law, their butts is up in a sling.
Right.
So they're going to try to take your attention here, attack this person, attack the family, attack the mail, attack the visitors, anything to keep you from focusing on their mistakes.
Right. Right.
Then Texas and a bunch of states Texas and a bunch of states got together to secede themselves from America.
Right.
That's why they started all that stuff over in the East right now, to get get everybody's attention over in Israel. That's how they work. They set up systems where they will kill kids. They will do anything to get you from focusing on what's really going on. Y'all got this thing going right now, and you got the documents to back it up. You got the paperwork in people's right hands. Obama made statements this year. He's backing Native Americans. We are Native Americans. I am a Native American. I am not a Negro. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
We got the facts to back it up. The New York lawyers got the facts that they made mistakes on the medical record with my angioedema all this time, and I could have died.
Right.
Syria signed off on all the documents. You getting the point I'm trying to make?
Yes, I am, Baba. Yes, I feel you.
Off now, it's like now we got to go this way.
No, I'm with you. No, we focused, Baba. We're not dropping the ball. No, I definitely understand.
It upset me sometimes because I be telling people that's not your project.
Right.
Didn't do that. Leave her alone. Get out of her business. You know what I'm trying to say? It's like everybody wanted to run up to New York when Sakina first started. The first thing I said is leave Sakina alone. She paid for it, so it's her project. Tayet and them are paying for their own research and doing their own stuff. That's their own project. Leave it alone. What do you got? The point is, what are you working on? Not what is somebody else working on that you can get the credit for. What are you working on? Where's your project? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Right. I understand.
That's why this gap that they create between us, they do that purposely in this place. So you can't straighten things out. So they love all this confusion. They live for it. That's how they keep their jobs. Because all I'm saying is, could y'all get me the heck out of here?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Before I die up in this place. What should we do from this point? That's the point I'm trying to say.
Okay.
What are we doing now?
If I may make a recommendation, I'm listening into what your instructions are.
Right.
And what I think you should do, just as a plan B.
Right.
Let them move forward with the Liberian piece.
Uh-huh.
But at the same time, I read through that ex parte order.
Right.
Concerning the Native American and the indigenous tribes and all that. That was excellent work.
Right.
What I suggest you would do is also prepare the same document from a Liberian perspective, where you're just footnoting your head of state and the Native American stuff. Just footnote it similar to what it's the Liberian piece is footnoted in it now, and just sit on it. Use it as a backup plan if something falls through and doesn't work out, but then it's already prepared. It's ready to go. Okay. It's all the footnotes and everything's tied together.
I got 5 more minutes, so go ahead.
Okay, so to have it prepared.
Right.
Let your whatever project that those people are working on, let them continue to work on that project, but just use this as a plan B. Gotcha. That in the event it doesn't come to fruition, you're ready to spring forward.
I see. The thing about it is, this may sound crazy at this point, but that is exactly what I told the girls to tell my son. I said, tell him that after I read that, I said, wow, if they would take the information from Liberia and put this inside here, you follow what I'm saying?
Right, Bob.
If we really stuck. The project is get pop out of this place. Right. And as long as you all understand what you got to do and everybody get together and get it done, because you're wasting time. Because you've already filed and you got everything before them, the only thing they're doing is buying time right now. They're trying to figure out a way to get out of this. There's no way out of it because that thing is airtight. You follow?
Yes.
They're trying to buy time. That's what they're doing. They're running around asking people, is there a way out of this? I told them.